Plot twist. I didn't just get a job in a luxury apartment. I got a front row seat to my future life. Some people call it working. I call it studying. So I just spent the last 5 months unemployed, broke, and stuck in my own thoughts. Now I'm spending every single day in a multi-million-dollar apartment watching how wealthy people live. And today was my first day stepping into that world. Was it everything I imagined? Let's talk about it. Let's be honest, I didn't take this job just for a paycheck. I took it because I wanted to put myself in the exact same environment that I want to be in. And the best way to manifest something is to make it feel normal. And what better way to do that than surround myself with luxury every single day. The funniest part is, the moment I walked in, I felt like the aesthetic already reflected my own. The vibe in my room, there's like lots of wood, plants. It's kind of like this cozy Zen vibe. So the building was that, but elevated, upscale. Instead of fake plants, they were real plants. Instead of jungle, but make it affordable, this was jungle, but make it rich. All of it just felt very zen, but modern. And I just kept thinking, I could live like this. It already felt familiar. So first of all, I was 10 minutes late. There was construction, then I couldn't find the parking garage, then I couldn't find the elevators, and I just didn't know how to make my way into the lobby. The first person I interacted with in the building was this older lady, and I feel so bad because I scared the hell out of her. Basically what happened was I had just gotten into the elevator and somehow she didn't see me because I guess she was farther behind, but the elevator hadn't closed, and then she like walked in and I was just there, and then she was like, oh, I was like, oh, sorry, and then she was like, it's okay, you look so cute by the way, sweetheart, and I was like, oh, thank you. For saying that really just lifted my energy. However, like every job, there are people that are just particular. There was this one guy who was not understanding about it being my first day. He asked me something and I was like, oh, I'm sorry, it's my first day, but if you can wait a minute, the girl that's training me, she'll be back literally in like less than 2 minutes. If you don't mind like having a seat, she'll be right here. And he rolled his eyes at me. Literally less than a minute, my supervisor came and helped before I could overthink too much. Overall though, most people were nice. The best way that I could describe the vibe of the residents: busy, nonchalant, and moving with intention. So the biggest thing I noticed is rich people move differently. They walk in and out of the building with confidence, but they're also weirdly relaxed. Like, imagine knowing everything in your life is just handled. That's the vibe they gave off. Another thing I found interesting is a lot of people come and go a lot during the day. And I think I just find that weird because I barely leave my room. One guy came in and out like 4 times because apparently his job is right down the street. And I was like, huh, that's luxury within itself. Getting a job so close to where you live so you could just come home for a midday nap. So let's talk about the hardest part of my day and why I mentally checked out halfway through my shift. There was so much to learn. Who to let up, who to not let up, how to handle food and package deliveries, what residents are particular and don't like to be bothered at all, how to reserve the pool, how to reserve the loading dock, how to make a key fob if someone locks themselves out, which seems to be a really common problem, and how to navigate all these like apps and systems on the computer just to find information. It was a lot. At one point my ADHD brain just fully checked out. And I was already fantasizing about other places I could work just because I got a little overwhelmed. But then I reminded myself, you know what, it's all practice. It's not about knowing everything on day one. It's about getting comfortable with the process. Speaking about getting comfortable with the process, let me tell you about the most embarrassing part of my day. This guy needed a key fob because he locked himself out. And I had just learned how to make one, so my supervisor was like, you got this. So she leaves and goes off to the bathroom and she goes, I believe in you. And I was like, thanks. I entered all the information on the computer. It like made the key fob. I give him the key fob. He steps away and then comes back like a minute later and he's like, it didn't work. And I was like, and I think that's what really got to me because I was so sure that it was gonna work. I started like getting really flustered. I'm like trying stuff out on the computer, trying to see if I could fix it. He was really nice about it and I let him know like, hey, it's my first day, sorry, actually I don't know why it's not working. My supervisor's in the restroom, she'll be back shortly if you don't mind taking a seat. He goes, seats down, but my supervisor took a very long time in the restroom. So I was like so embarrassed. I was like, oh my gosh. I felt anxious about him getting upset. The guy was still chill, but you could see he's a little like, I'm just trying to get to my room. And it turns out that I did do the key fob correctly. I just forgot to call the elevator for him. So it was very awkward, to say the least, that me and the resident stood there just waiting for the supervisor to come back and simply press a button. Yeah, I felt really stupid for wasting his time when all I could have done was press the button, and I just didn't know that the key fob did not open the elevator. There was one moment that really clicked for me during my shift. It was when I went to the amenities floor. I don't think I'm saying amenities right, but I really hope I am. The big windows, the balcony pool, the outdoor balcony lounging area. I had cozy spots that were made for reading. I could just imagine myself sitting there and like sipping on coffee, looking at the beautiful view, and in that moment it felt real. I saw myself living like this. It's like I had already placed myself in that reality. I'm only supposed to check this area once per shift just to make sure everything's tidy, but I'm gonna take my time doing it. So this is just the beginning. My first day of work is officially done, but my journey is just getting started. I have no idea where this path is gonna lead me, but I do know one thing: this is not where my story ends. Tomorrow, I'm gonna get up a little earlier, put on a little more effort into my appearance, and actually try to step into the energy of belonging instead of just observing. And if you're on your way to your glow up journey, whether it's money, mindset, or manifestation, hit subscribe. Let's figure this out together. Because if today taught me anything, it's this: I am getting way too close to this lifestyle to not claim it as my own. So let's see where this goes.